What if I told you that you could take an ordinary backyard swimming pool and turn it into a serious training machine without making your pool any bigger? Whether you're training to become a stronger swimmer, looking for an incredible full body workout, or even trying to improve your kayaking skills for whitewater, a swim current machine could completely change the way you use your pool. But here's the question I want you to think about throughout this video. If you only have a small or average sized backyard pool, can a swim current machine actually give you a serious enough workout to replace swimming laps in a much larger pool? Because at first I wasn't sure. I mean, you're basically swimming in one spot. How hard could that really be? Well, we're going to break down exactly how these machines work, why swimmers use them, and how they can be used for exercises, and why kayakers might want one too. And at the end, I'm going to answer that question. Can one of these actually turn a regular backyard pool into a legitimate training setup? Now, let's go ahead and jump right in. First, let's talk about what we're actually dealing with. A swim current machine or counter current swimming system creates a powerful stream of moving water inside of your swimming pool. Think of it almost like a treadmill for swimming. When you're on a treadmill, the belt moves underneath you so that you can run for miles without actually traveling anywhere. A swim current works on a similar principle. Instead of you swimming from one end to the pool to the other, turning around, pushing off the wall, and swimming back, the water is constantly moving towards you. Your job is to swim against it, and if the current is properly adjusted to your ability, you can continue swimming while staying in roughly the same area of the pool. That means a pool that normally wouldn't give you enough room for serious lap swimming could potentially become much more useful for training. And that's where this gets interesting, because this isn't necessarily just about professional swimmers. There are several completely different ways you could use something like this. Let's start with the obvious one, and that's swimming. If you're training competitively or simply trying to become a much stronger swimmer, one of the biggest benefits is continuous resistance. Think about regular lap swimming. You swim down the pool, you reach the wall, you turn, you push off, then you repeat. That's great training, but you're constantly interrupting your normal swimming rhythm. With a swim current, there's no wall in front of you. You're continuously swimming against moving water. And that can be useful when you're working on things like endurance, maintaining your stroke rhythm, breathing control, body positioning, and overall swimming efficiency. You can also adjust your workout based on the strength of the current if your particular machine offers adjustable flow. Start easier. You can get warmed up, increase the current. You push yourself, back it down for recovery, then increase it again. That opens the door to interval style training without needing a elliptical sized swimming pool in your backyard. Another reason I like this is endurance. Let's say you're not necessarily trying to become a professional swimmer. Maybe your goal is simply to swim continuously for exercise. In a smaller backyard pool, that can be very frustrating. You take a few strokes, there's the wall, you turn around, a few more strokes. Wall again. With a swim current, the size of the pool becomes less important for continuous swimming. Instead of asking, how many laps did I swim? You can start thinking, how long did I continuously swim against the current? Maybe you start with 5 minutes, then 10, then 15, and as your fitness improves, you can work toward longer sessions or a stronger current. You're essentially creating an aquatic endurance workout in a relatively small space. And that brings us to people who aren't training for competitive swimming at all. Maybe you just want another way to exercise. Swimming can involve your arms, shoulders, back, core, hips, and legs while you're working against the resistance of the water. And a current adds another dimension because now the water itself is actually moving against you. You don't necessarily have to treat every session like you're preparing for the Olympics either. You can adjust the intensity to match your goals and ability. You might do a steady swim, you might do intervals, you might alternate between swimming and resting. or you might use the moving water for other pool exercises. The big advantage is versatility. Your background pool isn't only somewhere to cool off anymore. Now you can become part of your exercise setup. Instead of let's go sit by the pool, it becomes I'm going outside to train. That's a completely different way of looking at your swimming pool. You might be one of the biggest selling points. You don't necessarily need a massive pool to get the concept of continuous swimming. A lot of people simply don't have the property or the budget for a huge lap pool. Maybe you already have an above ground pool. Maybe you have a relatively short in-ground pool. Normally, you might look at that and think, there's no way I'm doing serious swim training in there. This right here changes the equation. Instead of needing a long distance in front of you, you're creating water movement for yourself to work against. That's why I think these systems are particularly interesting for homeowners who already have a pool but want to get more out of the pool itself. You're taking space you already have and giving it another purpose. Now let's talk about something that I think is really interesting, and that's kayaking. Especially if you're interested in whitewater kayaking or rafting. When you're kayaking and moving water, you're dealing with something completely different from paddling around on perfectly still water. The water is moving, right? You're trying to control your position, you're using your paddle, you're adjusting your body constantly, and you're responding to the force of the water. A swim current machine can create moving water in a controlled pool environment. Now, I'm not saying your backyard pool suddenly becomes the Colorado River, obviously not. Real whitewater has obstacles, unpredictable currents, waves, and other hazards that a controlled pool does not reproduce. But moving water can potentially give paddlers another environment for practicing certain controlled skills. Depending on your pool size, current system equipment, and safe setup, you may be able to work on things such as maintaining positioning against moving water, paddle technique, balance, and controlling the kayak while water pushes against you. And I think that's a really cool secondary use. You buy something called a swim current machine, but swimming doesn't necessarily have to be the only reason you use it. Another thing I like about the concept is that different people can potentially use the same system for completely different reasons. One person might be training seriously for professional swimming. Someone else might just want a good workout. Another person might want to improve endurance, and someone who's into kayaking might be interested in training against moving water. If the current strength is adjustable, that makes the system even more versatile. A beginner isn't necessarily going to want the same current as an experienced swimmer. If you start at a manageable level and progress over time, and that gives you something more to work toward. Maybe the current that feels extremely difficult today becomes your warm-up months from now. Think about that. That's when you can actually see your progress. Here's another huge factor: convenience. Think about what normally goes into swim training. You might need to drive to a gym, find a lap pool, walk around there for hours, find an open lane, then you finally get to train. You get changed, then drive back home. And if you're already on a pool and install an appropriate swim current system like this, your training area is right outside. That convenience could make it easier to be consistent. Maybe you just got 30 minutes. Go take that 30 minutes, go train. You want to get in a workout before the rest of your day starts. The pool is there, right in your backyard. And consistency is a huge part of improving at almost anything. Having access to a training setup at home removes some of the barriers that might otherwise keep you from practicing. So who should actually consider this system here? I think there are a few groups. Competitive swimmers who want another way to train at home, recreational swimmers who want to improve endurance, people who want to use their pool for more exercise instead of only recreation, and people with smaller pools who don't have enough length for traditional lap swimming, and potentially kayakers who want controlled moving water practice provided that their pool and equipment are appropriate for it. But there's still that question from the beginning that I asked: can a swim current machine really turn an ordinary backyard pool into a serious training setup? Here's my answer. Yes, with an important qualification. A swim current machine isn't going to magically turn your backyard into an Olympic swimming facility, and it isn't going to perfectly recreate a raging whitewater river, but that's not really the point. The point is that you're taking a pool where you might normally only get a handful of strokes before hitting the wall, and you're creating the ability to continuously work against moving water. For swim endurance and conditioning, that can completely change what you're able to do with the space you already have. And if the system provides enough adjustable current for your ability level, you can make that workout progressively more challenging as you improve. So if you ask me, why would I want a swim current machine? My answer would be simple, because it could turn your swimming pool from somewhere you simply swim into somewhere that you actually can train. Whether that's training for competitive swimming, getting a serious workout, improving your endurance, or working on appropriate kayaking skills, you're unlocking an entirely different purpose for your pool. So now I want to hear from you. What would you use one for? Swim training, exercise, or kayaking? I want to hear about it in the comments down below. And I want to thank the seller for sending this out to me in order for me to do the review on this. I have other videos I'm making on this, so if you want to see those, you can look at my channel. But thank you, seller, for sending this out so I can actually test this and give my opinion on this product. So thank you so much, and I'm appreciative to you guys for watching until the end if you made it this far, and I will see you in the next one.